the world has never been more ripe for self-enterprise. With the internet, again, this is something that wasn't there 15 years ago. We now have a market of billions of people that are accessible. And whether or not you think this is ethical, Facebook can find the exact target that you're looking for to kind of sell your thing. And you can make a lot of money doing it now. This is the new economy. It just is. And like, I'm just on the cusp of it. I'm just learning about the potential of it. But I've built the foundation of Storylands in order to be something that I can carry with me through the rest of my life. Whether I'm doing films, whether I'm helping businesses, whether I'm helping people, it's all under the same premise, right? It's all under the premise that like there's an emotional foundation to whatever it is that you're doing in the world. There's an emotional core. It's like a fuel cell that just it needs to be lit, right? And the more that whatever you're doing in the world or whatever you're putting out into the world is connected to that source core inspiration, the more powerful it'll be, the better that the people who receive it will feel, because they'll be inspired, because you're speaking from truth. You ever notice how good you feel around people that have no filters and are just speaking from such a place of just core truth that it just like, you're just like, I want that. I want to feel like that, because society has taught us to walk around with a whole lot of filters on, to be a certain way in order to fit in. There has never been a better time in human history to not fit in than right now. Like, look around. Like, there's a lot of chaos and confusion and anger, and like people are angry at whatever the news tells them to be angry at. Like, you got to notice that there's this polarity now, right? And like, also look on, and this isn't really stuff I like to talk about, but I've never noticed inflation in my life. And look at inflation right now. Like, this is insane. Gas is about to go above $2 a liter. I never see it over like $1.20. And like, this is dumb stuff. I don't even like talking about this, but I'm looking and I'm saying like, thank God I know what I want to do in the world. And I understand that I can't get fired from this, right? I can't lose my job, because all of the value that I have is in here, because I decided, who am I? What do I want to do in the world? What do I stand for? What's the hill that I'll die on? Because I'm so interested in exploring this topic. I'm so interested in bringing value to the world through this topic of emotional connectivity and resonance. Eventually it just clicks, right? The more we can pursue and let go of all the filters of all the voices in our head saying that's not possible, you can't do that. Like, you got people saying, there's 20-year-old kids making $50,000 a month teaching people how to like not be awkward at clubs. Like, this is the new economy. There's whatever it is that you're good at, there's somebody out in the world that like wants it, but they want your enthusiasm and your conviction and your excitement also, right? And like, this is happening right now. This is an economy that's literally happening right now, okay? And there are people that are becoming free all over the world at all different ages, all right? And then when you look at like going to school for 4 years and like exiting school and with 50 or $100,000 of debt, and then like getting an entry-level job at like 40 to 50K, when like, have you been to the grocery store lately? Like, what can you even get anymore on these salaries? That, so like, inflation's gone up like skyrocketed, and then income's gone up like that. Like, how do you survive? And then like, you can work your way up, and if you eventually become like CEO of the startup or the bank, you have maybe 300K a year in salary, and there's 20-year-old kids teaching people how to dance at clubs on the internet, like in their mom's like basement, that are making twice that. This is happening right now. Like this exists right now. And I'm excited about it because I really want to help people understand, what are you brilliant at? What do you actually know that nobody else in the world knows? It's like a secret. Like, have you ever heard of the 4-minute mile? The 4-minute mile is like, this is kind of a good analogy, where the 4-minute mile is this guy, I think his name was Roger Bannister. Nobody believed you could run a mile under 4 minutes until 1954. Roger Bannister ran a mile under 4 minutes. And then everybody started doing it because it took one person to decide that this was possible and then do it. And then he literally elevated the rest of the world up to that belief, because he had this goal in his mind that he said, I'm going to do it. And he did it when nobody thought it was possible. Now people have gone, there's like 16 or 1700 people now that run the mile under 4 minutes. So it became possible, right? Because somebody decided that it was. I think everybody in the world has their own 4-minute mile, that theme that you want to explore. And the world benefits by you exploring your theme, because whatever you do on that path, you are showing people something different. It's hard to not kind of to hear what I'm saying right now and believe that you're just like a cosmic accident. You know, I operate under the premise that we're here intentionally, not necessarily. People say, what's my purpose? Hey, I've met people that say my purpose is to be happy. What a great purpose, right? Imagine how much value you can bring to the world by walking around and being just a naturally happy person, right? You bring a lot of value to the world. You don't know how many kids that are in tough situations saw you, and then that held on to that inspiration as they went home and, like, you know, started this path to being determined to live a different life because you went out in the world as a happy person. So yeah, purpose doesn't mean you have to have some big mission. That's kind of like what I've taken on, and I love it. It's fun, right? But intention, we're here intentionally. We're here on purpose. We're not here by accident. And the way I think we find what it is that we're meant to say is by feeling around for it, understanding, when do you light up? What excites you the most? What makes you just like enthusiastic beyond measure? And that's what I'm interested in helping people discover, if they haven't already. And if they have, how do you turn that into your business venture? And if you've already done that, then how does your content and visual media reflect that excitement, that enthusiasm, that like love that you have for whatever it is that you're doing?